Good morning, fellow traders. Black Coffee Trader coming to you here on Tuesday, February 24th with the trade plan for today. And as we can see, we are right back in the channel on the NASDAQ and across most of the indices. We are right back in this ugly sideways movement, and I'm just kind of curious. I wonder if this market is waiting on the NVIDIA earnings that I think we're getting tomorrow, if I have that correct. Maybe that's the catalyst that we need to move this thing. But I'll tell you, on the NASDAQ today, I'm not really thrilled. We have the daily 200 sitting right below yesterday's low. We have multiple day lows sitting right here. You have this double top high sitting right above the daily high from yesterday. And then right above that, we've got the daily 20, and then you've got the daily 50, you've got the daily 100 sitting at this quadruple top high from 2 weeks ago. And so there's just not a lot to like on the NASDAQ for me today. I think for me to really get interested, it would be a short, and it would probably have to be below the daily 200. I'm not really even interested in a short below yesterday's low of day unless it's a really, really good setup. But the thing is, we're taking a short right into that daily 200, something I'm not that crazy about. I guess there is about 100 points there, so there might be a short there, but it has to be a really clean setup below that yesterday's low of day. But I think if you lose the 200 and you get below this 24,500 area, now you set up a lot of downside potential here. To the upside, it just looks really, really rough. If you break yesterday's high of day, you've almost got to break this double top high from yesterday. If you break that, you're longing right into that daily 20. It's just, and that's that Friday high that we had right before that chop we had back the week of February the 8th through the 12th. And so there's just not a lot to love on the upside for me. Is there a trade, and will there possibly be a trade there if this market rallies? Quite possibly. I just don't think it looks that good for me. I don't like all these big moving averages, this quadruple top high, this double top. I think there's a lot of resistance up here. That doesn't mean that we don't go there. But I think for me, I'm not really looking for much on NQ today. The thing I'm looking for is maybe that break below the prior day low, the PDL break and retest. I love that trade, or the daily 200. If we drop that, lose the daily or the 24,500 area, that would set up some nice shorts to the downside. ES, very similar. I think the clear long is above this triple top high that we now have. We tested that area yesterday, but this triple top high we have right around the 69.20 to 69.30 area. We need to break above that for a long to the upside there. And that's also the daily 20 and the daily 50 moving average. The daily 100 is sitting above price. And if you notice, I did change these levels some from yesterday. I have a new level that I've put right in here, right where this overnight high is coming in. And that corresponds with I think a fairly major high coming from back in October, I think. Yes, right here, October the 9th. We had a high coming in here. There's been multiple reactions around that level. We've tested it multiple times. There's been some traps through it. That has shown to be a fairly significant level, and what may be happening here, don't know this for sure, but did we lose that area yesterday, and now we've come up and tested, and are we going to see a continuation to the downside from that? We could see some bouncing action. Maybe that sets up a break and retest, or a fade, a pop and fade, I should say, where we go back up, test that level, and reject off of it today. That could happen. We could go right back up, and again, the only long for me, the only long is above this triple top high. That's it. I'm not looking to take ES long at all until we get above there. Maybe looking at that break-in or a pop and fade short. Possibly you're shorting into that low from yesterday. If you break yesterday's low of day, I do think there's some downside. We've got multiple areas here below, some levels of interest that you'd have to take a look at, maybe setting up some further shorts. But I think the move clearly on ES is let's watch and see what this 68.75 or 68.78 level, 72 level. Let's see what that level does today. And then let's see if we hold yesterday's low of day and maybe get further downside. Dow Jones. Dow Jones is, a little bit ugly. We've lost this chop area that we've been in, which we were looking for that, and that was a nice trade that we had yesterday on the break below that prior day low. Now the new low is sitting down here. We are flirting with the daily 100 sitting below price. On the upside, we've got the daily 50 sitting above us here, and you've got the daily 20 sitting above us here. And I think the only clear long, let me zoom in here a little bit, the only clear long really is this major area from yesterday's high of day. If we break above that for a break and retest to the upside, that would be the look I would have. I do have a level up here around these lows from 2 weeks ago and around the highs from, let's see, this would be Wednesday of last week. I don't think that's major, but we do have some reactions there, so I left that level there. But I do think if you get a setup above this major high coming in around the 49,000s, 49.8s, I think it is, if we break that, that could set up a long. To the downside, I would maybe be looking for a move up into the low from Monday or from Friday. If we could get a move up into that low for a pop and fade, you're fading off that daily 50. I do kind of like that trade if it sets up. So that's something that is a potential. And then to the downside, if you break yesterday's low of day, I do like that. You're shorting into that daily 100, but you have enough space there that could set up a pretty nice trade. If you lose that, there's continued downside. Russell, last but not least, here again, kind of similar to NQ. We did see a slide yesterday. We did reclaim a little bit. We're sitting above the daily 50. I would be looking for a break below yesterday's low. If we do that, that could set up a really nice short to the downside. That's probably the number one trade you'd look for on the Russell. If this thing holds and pushes higher, if you break yesterday's high of day, there's enough space here that I would maybe look for a long up into this major high area, and I did make some adjustments to these levels as well. I just noticed that this seems to be a much more definitive high. You've got a lot of reactions coming in around the 2700 area. So if you get a long above yesterday's high of day, moving up into the 2700s, either take profit or set up a new long above that area, I think, to test the all-time highs. If we get that again, I think that's a bit of a stretch. The market seems more bearish than bullish. So a couple of watches here are, the big one really is the break below yesterday's low of day on the Russell. Or maybe looking to see if that long sets up there. So the jury's out. This market, it's a wait and see game right now. Really truly is. I feel like we really have to be careful and take what the market gives us and really keep an eyes wide open mentality. So definitely going to be watching ES and see what this area around the 6872s, what that area does. That's a very interesting spot to me this morning, and yeah, we'll see where things go. So hey, that's the plan today. We're going to be careful and try to make sure that we take great setups and let the market do its thing. So good luck today, and take care, and so long.